Help me grow, fast or slow, as long as I know you're digging for gold. Help me learn, soft or stern, as long as I know you're digging for gold. Life's a movie, the ultimate trip. You should have been told you'd be digging for gold. Welcome, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Digging for Gold, and I'm your host, Dan Goldberg. This is episode 25, and a very special episode in a lot of different ways. This is the first episode that we're doing virtually because we've had inquiries from people in Europe, in Nevada, in Michigan, and now Colorado. And we're doing this so that we can expand our audience and our guests, because otherwise they'd have to come to our studio in Philly. But we're still going to do the studio in Philly, and we're going to do some virtually. And today we have an extremely special guest that I'll tell you about a little later, the specifics. And that guest is Connie Lamb. Hi, Connie.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you? I know
I'm
what you want to
doing
say.
well.
I know what
I
you want to say.
do. I
I
do,
know.
but I won't say it.
Okay. Connie's going to talk about her Create Positivity project and the elements that go into it. So let us know how you came to do that, and who you're working with, and how you see it expanding.
All right. Well, thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
I
All right, I'm going to come clean. Connie happens to be my daughter, and I know that she wanted to say, "Hi, Dad." And the interesting story is that I did not know that Connie was my daughter, or that I had a daughter, until about 2.5 years ago. And we found each other on Ancestry.com. And we'll have the links to both videos. When we found each other, it was done by ABC in Denver, and when they were at the airport, and those links will be below. Okay. And with me today also is the famous Alex Daly, who you, even when we're in our studio, Alex is always there, and he's our editor, and he's been our guest too. So sorry about that, Connie. Continue.
well, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be your first virtual guest. That's
It's our
very
pleasure.
cool.
It's great.
I started Create Positivity Project after being in the hospitality industry for 35 years. I saw how creating a positive environment, a positive culture impacts not only people, but companies. And Create Positivity Project is a global movement to create more joy, purpose, and positivity in the world and in the workplace.
We need that.
Yes, we do. Yes,
Seriously need that.
yes.
Seriously. So how did it start? What was the next step, the impetus? Because I know that you have a book,
I
right?
do. I
And I
do.
know that you work with people.
I do.
So tell us about the path. The path.
It started, I had this vision to teach empowerment classes to people back in my 20s. So over 30 years ago, I had this idea that I just wanted to empower people to live with more purpose. And it was put on the back burner while I built a career in hospitality. And last year, I just knew I needed to take the step. So I became a certified positive psychology coach, and I wrote a guided journal to take people on a 12-week guided journey to learning more about themselves, getting more in touch with joy and abundance and happiness. And then it's just been expanding from there. So I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, and I'm a consultant for businesses as well.
And what about your book?
So my journal is the Create Positivity Project journal. It takes people through all different kinds of activities and prompts to just really get in touch with more abundance, joy, and happiness.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
That's neat.
thank
That
you.
really is neat. And you've lived through the strains, the stresses, all those other things, as so many people have, that I did not know about until about 2.5 years ago. But the interesting thing to me is that you are so positive, and you can help people with that who are going through situations that are troubling, traumatic, and so forth. And you also worked in a correct me if I'm wrong, in a residence for the elderly, correct?
I did. Yes, yes. So I had a very big job in senior living. I loved my job. I worked on a campus that had 1,700 residents, and I had 175 employees that worked directly under me. And I noticed my job there was to take over cultures that were struggling. And they
Right.
moved me position to position around the company. And the last position I took was for restaurants, really struggling with their culture. And I implemented a positivity project there. I had these little positivity cards. One said, "You matter," with a really nice saying on the back that really let people know it's okay if you don't know your purpose yet, but you're here for a reason. And it completely transformed my culture. And I had one of the strongest cultures in the company, and I absolutely loved what I did. And then the pandemic hit and
What a
changed
bummer
everything.
that pandemic was, I got to
Yes, it
tell you.
was.
That
Hmm.
was weird. And coming out of it is still, there's drips and drabs of weirdness from it. Uh,
Absolutely.
it's interesting because, as you know, I'm a professor, and a lot of the students don't really know what they want to do when they get out. They don't know.
Exactly.
And I bring in speakers, um, and and they discuss that because it's okay not to know.
It is. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. And I didn't know what I wanted to do when I got out of college. And when I flunked out of college the first time and then got out of the military and then went back to college. Even then, when I graduated, I wasn't 100% sure. And that's the way it is, but you still matter.
Absolutely. 100%. And what happens is people get stuck in the comfortable, the familiar. And so for me, I stayed in hospitality because that's what I knew. And I had been working in it since I was 16, and it was easy, but I knew there was something more for me. And I think a lot of people feel that way. They just don't know how to find their path, and they need a little guidance.
Well, tell us about the journal. What does the journal do?
So
What
the
is that?
journal starts out with some prompts and just helps them look at different areas of their lives. And then it actually helps them create a light list, which I like to call it, things that bring you joy. So things that light you up. So we start with that because I remember being, and this wasn't that long ago, 6 years ago, where I was in an unhappy marriage. I was working all the time and I couldn't tell you what brought me joy because I was so busy in the busy, wearing my busy as a badge of honor that I couldn't tell you what brought me joy. And it's actually the blessing that I got out of the pandemic. I got divorced, quit my job, and sold my house all in a year.
Wow.
And I rediscovered who I was. I rediscovered that I loved the mountains. I live about a half an hour from the mountains here in Colorado, and I realized that I love to paint. So I started painting murals in my house before I sold it. And it's interesting as I meet people, especially in middle age, how they've lost their joy. They don't know who they are except for their job and being someone's parents or grandparent or just existing in life. So it's really reawakening who they are from the core.
And they can write all that down, can't they?
Yeah. And then I have weekly or daily, weekly, and monthly prompts that help them connect to more gratitude, to more joy, to more abundance, and just help them get connected that way.
And they write every day.
They do. Yeah. It's a 12-week journey. There's additional pages in the back to journal even more. And it just really helps them reconnect to who they are deep
And
down.
what happens when they finish it?
Well, there's a couple different paths. They can either continue on by another journal, continue on for 12 more weeks, or they can work directly with me if they want more insight and they want to go even deeper and find out, ways to really implement this and the path they want to take and steps to really help them along that journey.
That's really pretty cool. That's
Thank
pretty
you.
cool. You have a website, don't you?
I do. CreatePositivityProject.com.
And you have social media too, don't you?
I do. On TikTok and Instagram, I'm Create Positivity Project. And on Facebook, I'm Connie Lamb.
Connie Lamb. Connie Lamb. All right. So now I know, and our viewers and listeners know, okay? And by the way, to access this, although you're already accessing it if you're listening to it or watching it, but all our links are at the bottom of my website, which is dangoldberg.com, to all our social media. But once people do that, okay, do they ever get together? All of them? Do you ever sit with a bunch of them to
Numerous
discuss?
people.
Yeah, all at once.
Yes, I actually offer workshops. So I love to get people together, just a refresh or getting someone in for the first time to really get to know themselves. And then I also speak to large groups, so corporations or smaller companies that need a culture boost, if you
Well, I
will.
like that.
Yeah.
A culture boost. I like that. Listen, I don't want to get too deep into the next part of this, but I know you're a great chef
I am. Thank you.
and you're very enlightened.
I am. I
Yes.
am.
And you make some great brownies that people go crazy over.
I do.
Yes, sugar mama brownies. But the create positivity, it's amazing because what makes people happy?
Food.
Food, right? Eating chocolate brownies, okay?
Yes.
I
People
mean,
love
I am
people love food.
so happy when I eat those brownies. And everybody in the family on the East Coast here is happy when they eat them. Everybody in Colorado, family or not family, is happy. And you're creating positivity just by that.
Exactly. Exactly. I had a booth this past weekend that was positivity journals and brownies. I'm
It's
like, what
great.
more could you need? You have
Nothing.
brownies, you eat the brownies while you're filling out your journal. You're a happy,
It's great.
positive
It's
person.
great. Your main thing now, though, is to create positivity, right?
It is. It is. And I do offer the brownies during the holidays.
Yeah. Yes, I mean they have to be. You have to be pushed to make the brownies. But once you make those brownies, boy, oh,
They
they're the
fly off the
greatest.
shelves.
They
They
do.
have a
They
little
fly.
reputation here in Denver.
I know they do. I know they
Hmm.
do. And they unfortunately seem to stay in Denver because you're not shipping them out yet, right?
I am not,
No.
no,
So
due to
if you,
USDA regulations. They're
yes,
not flying off the shelves yet into other
if
states.
so, if you want to taste Connie's brownies, you got to fly to Denver.
You do. And give
And
me a call and I'll deliver you a box.
there you go. There you go. So the curiosity of all this, I'm going to go back to, and you can interject whatever you want.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Because it's very unusual. And we did have that ABC 7 in
Yes.
Denver. Wonderful interview. It was 45 minutes in your place, in your home,
Mhm.
with the anchor from ABC News and me on a Zoom call, just like we're here now, a virtual call.
Exactly.
And maybe we should discuss that.
Okay.
I think it
I'm
would
open.
interest a lot of people. What do you think, Alex? Yeah? Alex shaking his head, yes. Okay. So he can even say yes. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, it won't pick it up, but yeah.
Okay. All right.
It did, I think.
He said it won't pick it up. The audio won't pick it up, but Alex said yes. So it was wild.
It
Okay?
was wild.
They'll see it in the links below, but because we're here and we are broadcasting this to the world now.
Correct. Over the World Wide Web.
Over the World Wide Web. My wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, and I always talked about going on Ancestry.com to find out who our relatives, or just for the heck of it,
Yeah,
who our
you're a big
relatives were.
researcher.
Yeah, I'm a big researcher. That's what I do. I'm a professor, and I do research.
Family.
Yeah, I do. And so we did it. We finally did it. I bought it for the holidays, whatever it was. And maybe I forget the holiday. Maybe it was July 4th or so. I don't know what it was. We wanted to get more independence or whatever. Okay. We're in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is the city that started a nation. A lot of people realize
it's beautiful if you've never been there.
Yes, it is beautiful. You should come and visit. And if you want to come and visit and be on the podcast, send us a note and we'll talk. We're always looking for interesting people to be on our podcasts. So anyway, we did that, and I forget, we did the swab or whatever it was, and sent it off to Ancestry.com. And weeks later, maybe 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it was, it comes back and Colleen is checking her results. I'm checking my results. And my results come back as 100% father-daughter match. And here I am, old already, okay? And I'm thinking back like Denver, because I did my research. You're in Denver. And I had to figure out what happened in Denver. At that time, it was 54 years prior.
Yep, so 1968.
1968. That's right.
Not to reveal my age, but.
Right, not to reveal your age. But in 1968, something very, how should we say this?
Spontaneous.
Spontaneous. I like that. Spontaneous happened. Very spontaneous. And I have to look around to make sure like nobody's here to hear about the spontaneity of that. But anyway, except Alex, it happened, and it came back that you were my daughter.
Yeah.
And I went like, wait a minute here. I called downstairs, and you'll see this on the link, but you got to come up here, I said to her. She was working. And I said, take a look at the screen. And she looked at it and she went, that is definitely your daughter. And I said, okay. And then I took it again just to make sure. And again, that's definitely your daughter. Now, you hadn't checked it, had you?
So I had done my DNA in 21, and just because I didn't know who my father was, and so I wanted to know kind of my ancestry on that side, right? My ethnicity, or whatever you want to call it.
Ethnicity, I think.
Ethnicity.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
And so I came back half Jewish, and I thought, interesting. But I didn't think anything else of it. And then you had tried to message me on Ancestry, but I didn't have my notifications on because I don't have any notifications on my phone. So I never received your notification. And I never really checked in on it. I just really did
Right.
it for my own information. So lo and behold, I didn't know I would get a dad out of the whole
Yeah.
thing.
And as you're talking and with your Create Positivity project, it is amazing how positive you are going through life, not knowing the other parent.
Yeah,
You
totally.
knew, you knew your mother.
Yep. And growing up, I always was like, I'm so different from my mom's family. Like, I'm the only entrepreneur. I'm the only one that's always seeking enlightenment or spirituality. Like, I was that person. And I always thought, I'm so different from everybody else. I was kind of the rebel. I didn't really care what anybody thought. And I didn't understand where that came from until I met you.
So there you go. Okay. There you go. And
Nature versus nurture.
it's true. It's true. And really, that you're so positive throughout your life, going through the situations you've had. And my background. I've had some similar situations and traumas and sadness, but we make it through it. And most people,
Yeah.
probably everybody will experience that in their lives.
Mhm.
And death of loved ones and so forth. Uh, but interestingly enough, I would always say I wish I had more children because, as you know, I lost a son and I lost a daughter, and lo and behold, through the miracle of DNA and Ancestry.com, I found out not only did I have a daughter, but I had three additional grandchildren, all sons. So I have
Yep.
three more grandsons, in addition to the grandson and granddaughter I have now here. So I have three in Denver and three in Philly, two in Philly. And I also have a great grandson, which
Yeah.
freaks most people out when they say to me, Dan, you got to take a look at my grandchild. My friends there. So, and I said, well, wait, I got to show you my great grandchild. Okay.
Right.
They go, what? So, the interesting thing to me is that something like this can bring so much joy.
Hmm.
By the same token, if it's a different person or
Oh,
different people,
100%.
it could be destructive.
Absolutely.
It,
Absolutely. Because I know people that have been in this same situation and they say, my outcome was completely different.
yeah, it was the things that I thought about. Um, First, I thought my initial reaction, and I don't think that this is in the video or whatever, was I'm going to call her. That was my initial reaction. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, maybe she already has a father or someone she believes is her father, and I can screw up the whole family. Okay.
True.
And then what is my son going to think? How's he
Hmm.
going to react to this? What is my girlfriend, who's now my wife, going to think? It's all these dynamics. What are your children
Absolutely.
going to think? What is your mother going to think?
Right.
Right? So it's not really that simple. It's not like,
Right.
you discovered a child, you discovered your daughter. Boy, that must have been great. For some people, it can literally mess up their entire family.
100%.
Or somebody just doesn't say anything and removes
Yes.
themselves from it. Um, and I actually said to my son, who is now your brother, when I pulled your picture up on the screen, I said, "That's your sister." And he said, "Are you looking for my blessing, Dad?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And he says, "Well, you have it." And 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 I know that the two of you stay in touch all the time,
Yeah,
your
he's
brother and
awesome.
sister.
We're so much alike too. It's pretty
Yes, you
crazy.
are so much alike. But from that perspective, and anybody out there who's going through this,
Yeah.
you have to do your research.
Hmm.
You have to make sure before you connect. I knew almost everything about you. The only thing I didn't know was that you had three sons and not one son. That was the
Yes.
only thing. Okay.
Hmm.
Um,
The others here
and
are pretty private. Marcus is in a lot of,
yeah,
which is a unique piece of the story too.
yes, it is
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah.
And his name is the same as my son who passed away, which is, a coincidence for lack of a better term.
Absolutely.
Your
Absolutely.
birthday is the same day as my daughter passed away. My
Yeah.
other daughter passed away.
Yeah.
So it's really when we talk about this to friends, they go, "That's freaky. That's
Oh,
really
totally.
yeah,
Totally.
it
Yeah.
is." But if you're in that situation, anybody out there who's in that situation should literally do their research, find out everything they can about the person,
Hmm.
where they're coming from. I'm sure that you spoke to people prior. When we finally spoke on the phone,
Hmm.
I had gone over to Istanbul, Turkey, and I
Yes.
I said to my girlfriend, who's again now my wife, Colleen, I said, I haven't heard from her from Ancestry, so I'm going to send her an email to her email address, which of course I had, along with your phone number, and know
Hmm.
everything about your family and everything else, because
You're a
as we've
researcher.
said, I'm a researcher. And as a matter of fact, we just won best paper at a conference, a research
Yay.
paper that I was on the group with. There were four of us. But anyway, I said, I'm going to send her an email. And if I haven't heard from her when I get back from Istanbul, I will send her an email directly to her regular email address, which you discuss in the video.
Yes.
And I said, here's my phone number.
Hmm.
You can call me. Here's my email. You can Google me. Okay.
Which I
Uh,
did.
which you did, of course. And and that was really the changing part of things when we finally connected, because
Yes.
I believe you spoke to your son
Hmm.
and your
Hmm.
mother,
Hmm.
which I would have liked to have been on the phone call for that one. But anyway, and your son, my
Hmm.
grandson, said call him.
Yeah. He said, well, are you going to call him, Mom? And I said, yes. I said, I'll call you right back.
Yeah. So and we spoke for a couple hours, I think.
We did. We spoke for a while, and it was so interesting. Because first, when I got your email and the subject line said father daughter match on Ancestry, immediately I thought scam. I'm like, this is a scam, whatever. But I read it, and it was very interesting because you had, walked through how you had researched me and all of this stuff. And then when I called you, you answered the phone, and I'll never forget this. You said, "Hi, Connie." And it was like we had known each other our whole lives.
Yeah.
Like the conversation flowed. It was never like strained. There was never this is awkward and weird. It was just like, wow. And the puzzle piece, I always say the puzzle piece to my heart was finally placed because I now knew the other half of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And we don't want to get too deep into your mother,
No.
but I'm sure she had a very interesting response.
Yes. Yes.
We'll leave it
And
at that.
yeah, we'll leave it at that. And but no judgment. I mean, I was not, and I'm sure there's people in the world when they find this out, they might be angry, they might be upset, they might have judgment, and there was none of that. It was like this piece that I now knew the whole part of me, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't matter what happened, it didn't matter how, it was just a relief to finally know where I came from.
Yeah, and that's how you can create positivity.
100%. It's all about how you react to situations, you know? And right now in the world, there's so much fear, there's so much chaos, but if you don't buy into it, you'll have a lot more positivity in the world.
Yeah, well, it's true.
Yeah.
And the fact that you we're not bitter, we're not
Oh,
angry,
yeah. 100%.
we're not scared, and
Mm-mm.
it didn't have fear, okay, any of
Nope.
that. It was just like, okay,
Yeah.
that's it. That's the missing piece, as
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if more people approach life that way, that life is happening for you and things show up when they're supposed to show up. Like I look at my life, had you been in my life my entire life, I would have turned out a totally different person. And I'm supposed to be the person I am.
That's a great point. Because
Yeah.
I do think about that, and I do say that, well, that's a whole part of my life that I missed.
Yeah.
That, my daughter growing up. Okay,
Hmm.
I didn't have that. I didn't have my grandsons in Colorado growing up, where they were babies, and I could hold them and play with them, and the same with you.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
guess it was supposed to be that way,
100%.
and
And
that's
I don't know why, but it's so interesting to see how similar I am to you.
it's very interesting.
Yeah, because even
Ver-
your wife has commented on that, you know.
Yes, and
She
and
said she's so much like you.
and so did as you know them, my Turkish son and daughter
Yeah. Yeah.
said the same thing. They said it about Rennie, and they said it about you. They said, she is so much like you, Dan.
Yeah.
She's so
I
much like you.
remember I remember having a conversation with them when I first met them and we were discussing business. And he said, if I didn't know you were Dan's daughter, I would think you were Dan's daughter the way you talk about business.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yes, I do have a Turkish son and daughter in Turkey, although they're not really my biologically son and daughter, but we are very, very close, and they're a part of the family, and we hope to see them bring everybody together once
Yes.
again. I mean,
Yes.
you 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 surprised me on Father's Day 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Rennie, my brother, was totally in on it. It was awesome. And so was Colleen, your wife, and we totally had you snowed. You were
I had
on the
no
phone.
idea.
We were talking one day and you said, I wish you could be here for Father's Day. Like my Turkish family will be here. And I said, I know, maybe next year, which I'm not a very good liar. So that was really hard for me. And then yeah, so we had it all worked out and my brother picked me up from the airport and we showed up on your doorstep and you were very surprised. It was
I
awesome.
was extremely surprised. I actually freaked out. I thought it was like
You did.
amazing, amazing. So I had my children together, and it was
All
just
of
a
us.
beautiful
Yeah.
thing. And you kept it from me for a month.
I know that was tough. That was
Yeah,
tough.
it was very tough. So you were here for Father's Day. Rennie was here for Father's Day, and the kids they came and Flora and Yasin and Zainab, and we had everybody together, and it was a
Yeah,
beautiful thing.
it was.
So from Colorado, from Istanbul, from Philadelphia, everybody was together, and it was your first real Father's Day.
It was. Yeah, it was our first Father's Day together ever. You know, and I tell people all the time, I'm like, I hit the dad jackpot. I'm
Well, I
like,
had
you're the best dad. He is so awesome. You know, I had to wait a while to get him, but it was worth the wait.
Well, I hit the daughter jackpot. It's a
Aw, thank
beautiful
you.
thing. It is a
Thank you.
beautiful, beautiful thing. And we have weddings coming up and the
Yes.
whole bit. And, you know, when I think about it, and when I think about other families, other men, there are probably so many men that have no idea Women
Absolutely.
women absolutely know when they have a baby born.
I would hope so, because
I
it's
would
kind of a
hope so too.
process.
But
Yeah.
men,
Yeah, you don't know.
gentlemen, you don't know. And if you're okay with this, and if your spouse is okay with this, and your family's okay with this, give it a shot. No pun intended. Give it a shot,
Right?
and you may find out that you have siblings, nieces and nephews. You may have daughters,
Yeah.
sons, grandchildren that you didn't know you had. And if you are up to it, it can be a blessing. It can bring so much joy into your life. I don't know if I told you this, but when I found out that we were 100% match, I called my brother because I figured this. I said to him, "Do you know anybody in Denver? Were you out in Denver?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, I guess it's really me."
This is me. Yep.
So uh, I really, it's so wonderful to do that, and I don't think, I don't know. I'm just me, but the other men out there, many of you whom have had interesting lives, okay, even if you're married or in a serious relationship, and you preface it by, listen, I've had an interesting life, to your
Right.
partner. I'm going to do ancestry because I don't know who I may have out there.
Right.
And it really brings joy. It
It
does.
does. And from my side, like it just brought so much clarity that I really struggled with my whole life. Like I just wanted to know where that other side of me came from. And it was so neat to see how it all came together and all the similarities. But like you said, do your research, because you don't know
It-
what you could have ended up
yeah,
with.
it could have screwed up everything
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
everybody. And
Yeah, totally.
and when I met your your aunts, okay,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
that was so wonderful. So many of them. Um, that was great, and their
I come from
family.
a big family. Yeah.
Yeah, they're family now. Uh, and we'll see about your mom, but
Yeah.
you never know. And but I think that if you have a clear head and you're kind and empathetic and realize what you've been through in life, there are so many things that are joyful through this that you should seriously consider it,
A
as
100%.
women and men. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. And and no expectation, right?
none,
No
none.
expectation that someone is going to be something that you imagine, right? You have to go in with a clear mind that this person is who they are. And I've had friends that have been in similar situations and they said, I met my biological father and he was not a nice person and I don't have a relationship with him. But knowing that that's okay too, right?
Yeah, it is okay as long as um, it doesn't become weird. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
if a person doesn't get along with their biological father or mother, if they've been
yeah,
adopted or whatever, and that's it, and they don't want to see them, and nothing comes out of that,
yeah,
that's okay too. At least they
it
know
is.
who the person is, and that's it. And I
Right.
know that a lot of adopted, and there are probably a number of people listening to this or watching it who are adopted and want to
Mhm.
know what their parents, your biological parents, are like.
Yeah.
Of course, your parents, the people who raised you, they're the ones who have put everything out for you. But your biological parents, if you get to meet them and they're just not what you expected, not cool or whatever,
Right.
okay, but now you know. That's it.
Yeah, and it's all in how you handle that, right? Like And that's every situation in life. You can choose for that to take you down one path or another, right? You can be accepting and just be like, they brought me here for a reason. Like, I truly believe that we're all brought here for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's all in how we respond to that.
Yes, it can create positivity one way or the other.
100%.
Even if it's a negative situation,
Oh,
at
yeah.
least it's clarity, which is a
Yes,
positive. You
absolutely.
may not get along with the person, you may not like them, but there's a positivity to it. And from what you've been through, and now have your Create Positivity project that is so important to people. It's so important to be able to learn how to live a positive life, going through
100%.
everything that you've been through and so many other people have been through. I've been through.
Yeah.
I'm sure all our listeners and all our viewers have been through, everyone who subscribes. And by the way, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, Spotify channel, whatever audio channel you're listening on. Subscribe and like and leave comments. There again, the links to the videos of Connie and I. We were interviewed by ABC 7 Denver, as I said earlier. And then they were at the airport when we first met. And it was so great.
That was super fun. Everybody was very, everyone in the crowd waiting for their loved ones was very intrigued by what was going on with the
Yes.
news camera there.
Right. Why is this TV cameraman
Yeah.
in Denver International Airport? I mean,
Right.
what's he
Right.
doing here? And I loved your Phillies sweatshirt because
Yes. Had to wear the Phillies.
yeah, I'm a
You're a big
big
fan.
Phillies fan. I'm a big Phillies fan. Um, so I really I really think that this is an important message. I don't want to
Yeah.
belabor the point, but
Yeah.
I am sure that there's so many people out there who are who don't know who their parent is, their father is, or they're adopted. They don't know who their parents are. Do your research. There are some adoptions that are closed adoptions, and that's very difficult to work through. But if you do your research and can figure things out, it'll help you. It really will.
Yes.
And
100.
and and if you go on Ancestry, which is very interesting, and even if you're adopted, your DNA or myheritage.com or 23andMe or
Yeah.
any of the DNA sites, you may be adopted, but you go on there and you'll find people that have
Oh,
your
yeah.
DNA. So then
Yeah.
you'll get to know who the people really are who gave birth to you, okay,
Yeah.
or got that whole process going. That doesn't mean that they're your parents. They're only your biological parents. Your parents are the people who took care of you your whole life. So
Right.
uh, this has been wonderful to rehash and new hash and to
Yes.
learn more about your Create Positivity project. She's the one you want to work with to create your positivity because she's been through so much
Oh,
in her
yes.
life and she's so positive. How can people get a hold of you, Connie? Please
They can
tell
reach
us.
out to me. They can go to my website, createpositivityproject.com. They can purchase the journal there. I'll soon have the positivity cards on there that kind of started it all back when I was managing the restaurants.
Cool.
And I have an apparel line. And then
Mm.
they can also reach out to me there if they want me to speak or they want to arrange for a workshop for their team or their community. And they can also reach out to me on social media. So Create Positivity Project on TikTok, Instagram, Connie Lamb on Facebook. And I also have connielamb.com, which is for speaking to the hospitality industry specifically.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Because that's a whole different breed. Being in the hospitality industry,
Yeah.
it's a whole different breed. You have to know it. So, and I've
Eh,
lived it. I worked my way up from dishwasher to executive chef and then transitioned into front of the house and opened restaurants and ran a lot of restaurants for people. So,
It's so crazy that you and your brother
I know.
Or spent years, both of you, years in the hospitality industry.
Yes.
How
Yes.
crazy is that?
Yeah. So we have that in common.
Yeah, you
It's
have that in
mind
common,
blowing.
and you stay in touch. I have to say, I am so happy that you two get along so well,
Oh
and
yeah.
his
He's
family
awesome.
with you and your family, and it's just beautiful. It's great to have more children, grandchildren, great grandchildren in my life, and of course the kids are so wonderful. And
Oh,
again, I just want to tell people, take a chance.
yep.
You never
100%.
know who's out there that may
We
change your
don't.
life for the better. If
Yes.
you get the feeling that they're going to change your life for the worse,
Don't do it.
don't do it. Do your research. You can see, this person, nope, but you never know.
You
And
don't.
also, you set out your expectations beforehand.
Correct. Correct. And when we met, like I didn't have an expectation that you were gonna come into my life and, do all the things, but you have, and it's been amazing. And I love having my dad in my life, and we
I love
love to
having
talk
my
about
daughter.
business.
Yeah, yeah, we're business heads. We're business
We are.
freaks.
We
We're
are. We
we're
can talk
definitely
about
business
business all
freaks.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's great. Well, Connie, thank you so much for being our first virtual Digging for Gold guest, for being my wonderful daughter,
Oh, thank you.
and for all the joy and positivity you bring to the world. Thank
Oh,
you.
Dad, I appreciate that.
It's my pleasure. And listen, don't forget how to get a hold of Connie. And don't forget, you can go to dangoldberg.com. All our icons are at the bottom there to connect to YouTube and Instagram and Spotify. And please subscribe. And remember this, use your mind. If you don't, others will. We'll see you
That's
next
right.
time. We will see you next time. That is correct. I agree. We'll see you next time on Digging for Gold. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye bye.